Hi, I'm Carol Beringer, and I'm the owner of Pilates and More in Wayne, Pennsylvania. This series for the Radnor Memorial Library is called the Amazing Movement Series. And what's amazing about it is that it's unremarkable movements with remarkable benefits, and it is functional movement, how you move day in and day out, and it's for strength and flexibility. So it's a win-win, and we're going to have a really good time just organizing your body. January, here we are in January, and we're going to jumpstart our new year by getting our posture, which is your core strength. So we're going to align our posture so that we move through the day because we walk from task to task. So our daily movements are standing, sitting, walking, and driving. And so the posture that we use here, if you just transfer it to sitting, is perfect. So we want to align our spine into its 4 natural curves. So there's one behind your neck, one through your rib cage, the thoracic spine, a small arch in your low back, and your tailbone naturally tucks under. And those are meant to absorb the shock in your spine as we walk across the earth against gravity. So let's start with the myth that these are your hips. This is your pelvis. Your hips actually are inside your pelvis. If you follow your thigh bone up, there's a ball and socket right here. This is your alignment. So we're going to align hips, knees, and feet. Oh, and you'll see that I'm wearing a wrist brace, which I'll remove. But I wanted you to know that even though we have injuries, if we work from our center, it is still possible to remain fit and move without further injuring. And I'll take it off now because I'm not going to do anything that puts pressure or would damage the wrist further. But I just wanted you to know that. Okay, so hips, knees, and feet in alignment. And then we are going to take our pelvis and align it because we have a habit of standing this way or freeload on one leg. So we want to align our posture so that we have a home base. And so you will go through all those ranges of motion during your daily tasks, but we need to have this home base. Where do we start from? So we're going to take our pelvic floor has a tailbone, a pubic bone, and 2 sits bones. So the sitting bones are those pointy bits at the bottom of you. Your tailbone and your pubic bone should be even with the earth, and they are protected because the sits bones are lower than those. So let's just pretend if you tuck the tailbone, you'll feel that tuck. If you send your pubic bone backwards, so we're doing a pelvic mobility movement here, and then your sits bones are the side to side. If you envision that your torso starts on this diamond shape of tailbone, pubic bone, and sits bones, and it's even with the earth, that it's a handkerchief, and you want to just pull up through the center. And you'll feel a lightness. You'll feel that you're already fighting gravity. Then what do we do with the space between the hips and the ribs that's just your abdominals? If you just think of pulling your belly away from your shirt, you'll feel how you lift there. And that all of this is decompressing your spine up from gravity. And so then we have this 10 to 15 pound bowling ball on top of a toothpick, the smallest part of your spine. So the best way to engage that is to wrap your hands around the round part of your head. You want your thumbs to be at that occipital ridge. There's a dent where your head joins your spine. And so we're going to put the hands on the round part and just push the head against the hands and the hands against the head. And it feels good. And this aligns your head. So most of us have forward head hang because everything happens in front of us. And so if we just bring that head back over the spine, it feels such a relief. It lengthens the back of the neck. It actually makes your windpipe, where your air enters, straight. So your windpipe's like a straw. And if your head's forward all the time, you're reducing the amount of oxygen that can come into your body, which is your fuel. And so if we get this alignment and we hold ourselves up like this, we are now firing all the muscles in our body. It takes 302 muscles just to stand up. I think there's 620 general muscles in the body 302, 151 pairs just to stand up, and most of us do it poorly. So we're going to start here, and that's how you're going to just regroup a couple times a day, pulling up the little handkerchief, the belly away from the shirt, which brings the cylinder of the abdominals towards your spine. We're decompressing up against, from gravity, and then just align your head. And when you get into your car, if you sit into the car and do this same torso alignment and fix your rear view mirror and side view mirrors, if you can't see in them, you'll know you're slouching. And just the ability to hold yourself up like this a few minutes more each day creates endurance, fires more muscles, burns more calories. So it's just a win-win. So there you go. There's your core strength for day in and day out, just by using better posture. So the next thing that we're going to do is called the ab series, because we've just come off the holidays and there's been a lot more sitting during 2020. And so everyone wants to have stronger abdominals. And it's great because that is what supports your spine. So we're going to come down onto a mat, do a little bit of a warm-up, and do a series called the Fabulous 5. It's an ab series of 5 movements, and I'm just going to get my hair out of the way and we'll get started. So you're going to come down onto a mat. If you're on a hardwood floor, you want to have a fairly thick, firm mat. It's about 3 yoga mats. So if you have 3 yoga mats, you can just put those together, or you can purchase one of these thicker mats. They're not very expensive. You can get them on Amazon. They're everywhere. So we're going to start with just a good posture, sitting up on those sits bones. And we're going to work with that pelvic floor alignment in all rolling back and forth into to fire it up and to help us support a perfect sit-up eventually, which is a rolling exercise. So you're going to hold on to the back of your knee pit. And this is your steering wheel connection. Is going to now hold on here. I call it the steering wheel connection because when you hold on at the car, in your car, it's there. And that is where we aligned our heads, with the hands behind the head. So you're going to put the hands here behind your thighs and sit up as tall as you can on your sits bones. And then you're just going to curl your tailbone under and just go back until your arms go straight. And then inhale to come up. So the breath helps because when you exhale, actually your abdominals are meant to squeeze the air out of your lungs and the junk out of your intestines. So the more you activate your abdominals with an exhale, the more they're coming towards your spine and actually massages your organs. A lot of benefits. So as I said, these are unremarkable movements with remarkable benefits. And this just feels great. It gets the kink out of your low back. 80% of humans have low back pain, and most of that's from having poor posture and walking across the world with against gravity. And so now you'll probably find that you're lowering a little bit more towards the mat. Well, your arms aren't getting longer. What's happening is your spine is decompressing. So now let's try that we feel safe. Put the arms out in front of you as if your arms were on top of a coffee table and your legs were about to slide under it. And then just roll back, but push your fingertips forward. This is called oppositional energy. And the more that we use oppositional energy, we are lengthening the muscles to strengthen them versus shortening them. So what happens here is that your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, and your fascia are all coming towards your skeleton to help it move through space. So you're decompressing your joints, and that's where flexibility comes from. And you might even get a little crack here and there. As long as it doesn't hurt, it's an okay thing. All right, this ab series, we're going to take it very slowly today. It could be done at a faster pace. I don't want to say faster, a smoother but quicker pace eventually after you nail down the mechanics. So let's just roll down, maybe slide your hands down your legs and feel each vertebra melt into the mat. And then you want to organize your spine into neutral. The same way that we were standing up and it was neutral, with the pelvic floor facing the floor and the natural curves all the way up. So put your hands on your low belly so that you can feel whether your fingers are tipped up or tipped down. Now, if it's parallel, that means that your pelvic floor is facing the far wall, which means if you were standing up, you would be in the right position. And then you should have a small curve in the low back that you could just fit your fingers there. That's a natural curve. We don't want to press that out because we're trying to learn how to operate our body in neutral. And then your rib cage should be firmly on the mat, and this space and your chin, so your face also parallel to the ceiling. So you don't want to have your chin up and you don't want to have your chin tucked in. You want to just feel lengthened and you want to feel at ease. So let's just start by nodding the head back and forth. And you'll feel how the neck pulls at the occiput, where the head meets the spine. And then draw a circle on the ceiling with your nose. Because the first one where we nodded back and forth, that's called the atlas, and it only lets your head go back and forth. And the second one is the axis, which allows it to rotate more. So that's the very top of your spine, the tailbone's the bottom. So to get the most length out of the spine, now that we've got a bit of a feel for neutral, and it'll feel even better if we just take a small shoulder bridge where you lift your bottom, tilting the tailbone up towards the back of the knees, and lengthen your spine down even more, and then you'll feel those natural curves are a little bit more relaxed. And while they're relaxed, they're also going to start to engage. And for this series of the Fabulous Five, you're going to bring one knee into your chest and then the other, and you're going to just first let the curve go out of your back by pulling the knees into the chest, and then sending the tailbone long, and keeping your shins in what we call the tabletop position. We could set a tray on there. Now, we're going to come into an upper ab curl. And the way you want to do that is you want to think of lengthening your head back towards the end of the mat, and then nod your chin to your chest so that you can see your belly. What we don't want to do is let the curve go so that the tailbone is in the air. We want to lengthen so you can push your knees, top of your shins into your hands to feel that length and very stable across the pelvis. We're going to reach out one leg and pull the other knee into the shoulder. So this is oppositional energy again. And then pull that knee in and switch. Now you want to look at your thigh and make sure you can't see your shin or your foot, that each leg has its own lane. And this is a hip socket opener, and we're all very tight here. Now, if it is rocking your spine to take your leg as low as I am, take it higher so that you can keep stable here while you move your legs. The stable part of your body is working just as hard as the moving parts. And I'm engaging this upper part of the body, which I call the steering wheel connection, from fingertip to fingertip through the front of the body and the back. We're just going to do about 10 to each side. And I'm a terrible counter, so we're just going to go until I feel like we've probably let it settle in. And we're going at this pace because we want our brain to feel these both. I call it owning all your real estate. You're pulling one in as far as you can as the other. And we're not weight bearing, so this should be very safe for knees, hips, everything else. So that, now you're probably in need of taking your head from side to side. As you continue to do this, and this video will be available for a month. If you do this for a month, it will become easier and easier to keep the head up longer because you'll be toning your upper abdominals to help lift your head. Nod your chin to your chest again. So that one was called the single leg stretch. Now we're going to take a double leg stretch. We're going to take the arms to the ears, and we're going to keep the knees together as we send the legs out. Circling the arms around, you're going to catch your shins. We're only going to do 5 of these. So you're going to reach out. And again, you can see that my torso is staying very stable. So we reach out, circle around, exhale to pull in. And rule of thumb is inhale to get big, exhale to get small, inhale, and exhale. Take the head down and roll it side to side. That's called emptying your neck. The next one is called a scissor. So you're going to nod your chin to your chest again. This is called an upper ab curl. You're going to take both legs up. Now, if your legs will not straighten here, take them a little further away, or you can keep them soft, but the goal is to straighten through the back of the legs, and you'll feel how that engages your belly. You can either hold on to the bottom of the leg, Or if you have more mobility, you can hold higher, but make sure the hands meet. You want to be even across your shoulders by holding on evenly here. So we're going to have straight legs. Looking at the belly will take tension out of the neck. And then you're just going to switch. And when you switch, give this leg a little extra pull, just a gentle pull. And then you can try increasing the distance of the legs, inhaling to one side and exhaling to the other. And the ideal is to keep the legs straight. So if your range of motion is only here for straight legs, great. And we can work into that as the month goes along. Great. Fold the knees in, empty the neck. The next one is called the double-legged lower lift. So you're going to overlap your hands and put them underneath your head at the round part that we did standing up for the posture. And you're going to literally hook your thumbs at the occipital ridge, that dent just before the round part, and pull your head backwards and pull it up into the upper ab curl. Lengthen the legs to the ceiling. And again, if yours don't go all the way up, wherever they go, as long as you can keep your abdominals engaged and your tailbone lengthened towards the end of the mat. You're just going to reach the legs out a couple of inches and then exhale, pull them in. Inhale to reach out, exhale to pull in. And you can keep challenging yourself, but the whole idea is you're not getting into your low back, that you're stabilizing with your abdominals and keeping the legs long, and then bend the knees in. For those of you who might be a bit stronger, I'm going to give you an additional little movement here. Pick your head up and look at your belly. You always want to come into that upper ab curl first. Lengthen the legs up, heels together, toes apart, but squeezing those inner thighs towards each other so it feels like one leg. Reach it out a little, and as you come up, just cross your legs a few times till you get to your spot. Reach out and cross. That works the inner thighs. One more time, take it out and cross them over each other on the way back. Hug the knees in, take the head down. So we've already finished 4. The last one is a little bit of a twist, literally, on the first one. So you'll remember that we were up in the upper ab curl on the first one, and we did a single leg stretch. So now to add a twist to it, take your hands behind your head on that round part. Tailbone is lengthened down into the mat and long, and we're going to add a twist. So we're going to exhale into this upper ab curl so we really feel those abdominals come in towards the torso, through the center, towards the spine, and brace us as we send one leg out and twist the other elbow. And then exhale as you come through the center. Inhale as you reach to the other side. Exhale. And you can see that my shoulder blades are off. You'll be tempted to just turn your head, but you want to have those shoulder blades off during this entire series. I'm looking the wrong way today, so we're going to turn. And exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last one, exhale, inhale, and then take it all down. Hug the knees in, rock side to side, turn your head side to side. And then let's just review this in a faster format so that when you start conquering it at this slower speed so that your brain can do it well, then we can pick up the pace, and we'll just do 3 of each. So you're going to nod your chin, find your upper ab curl, and then we're just going to pull one leg in as we push the other one out and switch. And the upper body is active too. So we're just doing 3 to each side. The double leg. Inhale to get big, exhale to get small. The scissors. And inhale to one side, exhale to the other. Keep your breath moving. Double leg lower lift. Straight forward or crisscrossing. And then elbow to knee. So there's a good challenge for January. See you in February.